All right, and we're off. The next episode of the Irrelevants. Okay, what are we talking about this one? Last night, I was in Baltimore. Like deep in the heart of the city.
We were
What
there
a
during
mess.
the day. I mean, you need to describe heart of the city. You mean like down by the harbor, or like
No.
like up by Good Neighbor?
It was a not so nice an area.
Okay, yeah. So nowhere near the harbor.
People like jaywalking like zombies. A million fireworks too. It's not even the 4th of July, but there was a billion fireworks.
There were some out by my mom's neighborhood, which is not inner city Baltimore. It's about as opposite of inner city Baltimore as you can get. But there were a bunch of fireworks in my mom's neighborhood.
Oh,
I thought
you
meant junkies roaming the streets.
No, there was a bunch of those too, dude. People jaywalking like zombies just in the middle of the street.
I saw those people when we were there during the day because we were there yesterday during the day. We were there around like, what was it? Like 1, 2 o'clock? Yeah, 1, 2 o'clock. And
is it just me, or is it way worse than it was just a couple years ago?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so I actually grew up the closest. I grew up like 15 minutes outside of Baltimore. Mm. West Baltimore is still West Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still... Because I used to always go in on 40. I still go in on 40. I don't know how that place could get worse. It looks like Kabul, you know? Yeah.
It looks like a war zone.
It really has not, like, recovered since, like, the Freddie Gray riots.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think it's gotten... I could see the point that it's gotten worse since the Freddie Gray riots. Like, the police seem, like, apperplexed to stop crime.
Dude, there was a cop car, like, every 2 or 3 streets. Still fireworks going off everywhere. People's walking in the middle of the street.
You know they've decriminalized all nonviolent crime, right?
Oh yeah,
and crime's gone way up, obviously.
Yeah,
you know it's like, and I'm not like a law and order kind of guy, you know, but you can't just make every crime de facto legal.
Yeah, Baltimore is going to start looking like San Francisco.
No, if we started looking like San Francisco, that'd be an improvement. That'd be really. Do you mean like? Most of the houses have people in them.
There wasn't feces everywhere. I will say that.
I will give them that. There were just people standing around on the corners. And I don't know. I don't want to say what they were doing, but I think I knew what those people were doing.
Dude, I've never seen so many cockroaches just on the street.
I didn't notice that.
Infestation.
Wait, were you walking?
Yeah.
You were on foot in Baltimore at night.
Yeah.
Do you want to get stabbed?
It was a hell of an experience, to say that much.
Okay, we gotta back up, and I gotta ask why.
My friend had a birthday party.
Oh, so, okay, that's reasonable.
One of their friends worked at a bar, so we headed down there.
Okay, what bar was it? I go to some of the bars around there, in West Baltimore.
It was like a bar and pizza place. I don't know the name.
Oh, okay. I go to like One Star and what's the other one? Don't know.
Is that the name?
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Don't Know Tavern. Yeah, okay. It is called that. Yeah, I'm not just saying I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they force Rumplemans down your throat.
Nice.
And that's how I learned to love Rumplemans.
Dude, I don't know. That minty flavor is just...
Oh, it's objectively terrible, but it gets better every time you have it, you know?
It's...
Whatever you say. I mean, like, by that third shot, Rumplemints taste pretty good.
I've heard people have experiences so bad with the Rumplemints that they can't use mint flavored toothpaste anymore because it reminds them of puking their guts out.
There was one night, and I wasn't there for this, but I heard about it, where my friend's girlfriend got drunk off of Rumplemints. They were all at that bar, and she ran off into the street while they were changing bars to go to somewhere a little more lit. And he had to chase her down. He eventually found her in an alleyway combing a homeless man's hair. Because it's Rumplemints. It's just what it does. No, thank you. I like brushing my teeth, so I'm not trying to ruin that experience.
Yeah, mint flavor is just a little strong.
It's also like not as viscous, or viscous describes when something's less thick, right?
No, the more viscous, the more gooey.
Okay, it's more viscous than you would expect.
Yeah,
that's it's like a syrup. You're not selling me anymore. No, I know. I'm not. It's minty and it's thick. Oh, gee,
it's really bad.
I couldn't sell you on it. If you don't want to drink Rumplemans, you won't drink Rumplemans. It's not the kind of thing where it's like, I can talk it up to you.
I won't drink Rumplemans.
I'm not going to make you, Jake.
Yeah, it's something you're given and you politely don't want to say no. It's never something I'd go out of my way to buy.
I feel that.
Occasion.
I feel that.
Not even on Christmas.
Seth,
I've never
I don't
had
think-
just a little bit of Rumplemans.
But
Like,
you've
if I
gone
drink
out of-
Rumplemans.
You've gone out of your way to get it, though.
I like it at this point. I've had it enough
There
times
it
that I'm
is.
like,
I do it.
I'm not saying it's across the board bad. I'm just saying that it's terrible and nobody should do it, but I enjoy it.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's bad.
Yeah, dude. I've had straight up moonshine that was easier to take down.
Oh, see, I think I find it to be actually kind of smooth. I like the taste. I actually enjoy the taste. I just hate the effect that it then has on me.
Yeah.
Because you get drunk way faster than you think you would.
Yeah. What does it mix well with? Is there a type of drink made with Rumpleman schnapps?
I have no idea.
Because I've only ever seen it on its own.
Same. I've only ever taken it on its own. I mean, imagine if you put it in hot cocoa. It'd be
Gross.
pretty good.
You're gonna ruin toothpaste and hot cocoa in one go.
Dude, the chocolate.
Come on, peppermint hot cocoa?
That can kind of work.
It's a certified classic, but the Rumplemans have already ruined toothpaste for people. I'm not risking. Hot chocolate is like too good to risk. I'm not risking it.
So dental health is less important to you in your mind than hot cocoa.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Dude, would you pick
'Cause it's
hot
hot
cocoa
chocolate.
over coffee?
Yeah,
I don't even drink coffee at this point. I mean, I drink it occasionally,
coffee.
but I don't really drink it that often.
I like coffee, but I would choose hot cocoa over coffee just because it's a staple.
Do you actually? How often do you drink hot cocoa?
Not as often as I drink coffee, but I would rather have the option to have hot cocoa than only be able to have coffee. Coffee I can go without. Coffee I can supplement it with. Honestly,
tea.
I should probably tea, or I should drink juice or other things
And if you need that buzz, you can always just take a caffeine tablet.
or like a Monster Energy drink or something. Like there are
Yeah.
other ways to get like caffeine in the morning. I don't even drink it for the caffeine though because of my ADD. I just drink it for the taste.
Yeah, it's just part of the the whole
It's
waking up
Yeah, it's the morning
mood,
ritual. But
Yeah.
I could find something else that would get me moving in the morning. But having a hot cocoa after a cold winter day, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, especially been out in the snow all day. Like when I shovel the driveway.
Yeah,
you guys have seen
I don't
my
wanna
fucking driveway.
I don't want to shovel
Yeah,
the fucking
dude,
driveway
that's
and come in and have a coffee.
That's a little
Yeah.
uphill battle.
Yeah,
Not if you start at the top.
True.
My drive. I live not in the sticks, but I live sort of out of the way, you could say. So I have a 300-foot long driveway that's all uphill, just for the viewers to understand what I do. When I come back and I have hot cocoa, which is what I have, even though I'm a fully grown ass man.
There's no age limit on hot cocoa.
I feel like there's a bit of an age limit on hot cocoa.
Well, I'm breaking down that barrier.
That's your
Hot
civil
cocoa
rights
for
movement.
all ages.
Jake and I, we wanted to wait till you got back, but did you check out anything from E3? Did you see the Battlefield trailer?
I did not watch E3. No.
Ooh. Okay. Well,
I bought that Battlefield game we were talking about last time. I don't even know if we did it on air, but I bought that game. You guys really hyped it up. The game's fine.
which Battlefield?
Battlefield
game?
4.
2019 or not Battlefield. Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare.
Oh, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was okay.
It plays the community is as toxic as ever.
Yeah.
You're gonna play.
I know. I didn't even
a
play
bunch of-
online. I played the story.
Oh, what
Story? What are you talking
what
about?
are you doing?
What? That's how you start out with a game.
It's Call of Duty, dude. No one's cared about the campaign since 2009.
Okay. So I haven't played any online. I
Well,
just played the story. The story
You
was
can't- you can't
boring.
play half a game and say you
I
don't
wasn't-
like it.
I wasn't
That's-
hyping up the story.
okay, normally,
I was hyping up the multiplayer.
In defense, I don't normally play shooters. I don't understand. Okay, the story is usually the game.
No.
In
Not
most
last-
video games.
Not in a decade, dude. Not in a decade has the story been the main part of a shooter.
Okay, and I'm not saying a shooter. I'm just saying games in general. You're telling me you
That's
played
such a-
Portal
that's such
2?
a wide genre.
I don't play shooters often.
Okay. Well, you played a ton of Battlefield 1.
I did. Well, that's just because I love World War One. I think
Okay.
World War One was
Yes, as
not
far as
cool,
atmosphere
but-
goes, that game
Yeah,
nailed
that
it.
game.
and the uniforms are gorgeous. The guns are all gorgeous.
Did you try out Verdun? It's a
No, I did
shooter
not.
on
I wanted to, but I never tried it out.
yeah, it's like a World War One shooter on Steam, and I think they have a console release now.
I've watched
Hardcore.
gameplay of it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, dude, the era of hardcore shooters on PC is really good right now.
Yeah.
You got for World War II, you got games like Postscriptum. You ever check that one out? Tight. It's like a Red Orchestra 2.
Okay. Oh, so it's like that.
But
That's the thing that I never got into shooters because I hated when you would shoot somebody and then they wouldn't either die or collapse in
no,
playing.
this is like not simulation level, but it's hardcore.
Okay.
Like, people go down.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, because if you actually got hit with a bullet, you would go down.
Oh, it's World War One, dude. It is a mess in the trenches.
Okay, so this is World War One or World War Two?
Postscriptum's World War Two.
Okay.
And then Verdun and some other World War One games came out as well.
Oh,
They
okay.
even have some good modern ones too, like Escape from Tarkov and other.
Oh, dude, yeah, Tarkov is tight.
Mm.
As far as weapon combos go, and putting
Like
mods on there,
customization, yeah.
people will slap like, I'm not even kidding, like 5 sights on like an MP5.
And I remember when I was a kid, I wanted there to be like a Civil War shooter. Because you got to think about it, Civil War, a million people died if you include both sides.
I've seen videos of a Civil War VR game.
See, I played a Civil War game put out by the History Channel, and ever since I played that, I don't think there needs to be a Civil War shooter. When you're sitting there just reloading your gun for twice as long as it took you to shoot, that's when you're kind of like, okay, I see why they don't make these.
Though I've seen cool like Napoleonic War games where people really get into the like they get into the clothing and stuff, and they know a whole bunch about the history.
Oh, okay.
They like to line up and shoot at each other. It can be done. There was a PS3 game where you're from the future, but you get sent back in time.
I remember
ancient
this
battle,
game.
like
Yeah.
not ancient, but older battles.
Don't you go to the Civil War and they give you a machine gun?
Oh, they give you an automatic mortar cannon.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you go back to the Civil War and like maybe World War II. I don't know.
I remember seeing
years.
shit about that game. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit about the game is on point because it wasn't very good. But in concept, that is kind of cool.
Is it? I don't know that I want to visit every war in history with an automatic mortar.
There's a market for that.
If I could visit every war in history in a game and fight like the war was fought, that'd be kind of cool.
But we got games like that.
Like what?
Like Postscriptum or Verdun.
No. I mean like I
like where each
one
mission
game
is in a different war.
Like I start like in the Roman Empire and then I end up in like Vietnam.
Oh, yeah, outside of real-time strategy, I haven't seen that.
I guess like Civ. Well, no, there's no real-time strategy game I can name that's like that.
Empire Earth.
I never played it.
It was tight, dude. You start literally as a caveman tribe and you end the game with mechs.
Oh, yeah, you do that with Age of Empire too, don't you?
Not as far in the future. I think you start the Bronze Age, but
okay. Yeah, no, I'm used to playing the ones that are just based around an era like Khoi and Victoria.
Yeah,
which is the stuff that I was always into. So,
yeah.
Also, I have a very important announcement. The best game in all of history has officially changed. It is no longer Victoria 2. It is now the not yet released Victoria 3. Just wanted to update you guys. That is the official list. There's 2 things on the list.
Okay, I gotta put RimWorld up for the vote. That game
that can come in a solid third.
Yeah, I could put another 700 hours into that game. With the mods and the customizability, it is.
See, I just still gotta
fun.
I gotta throw that mod on there that makes it work.
Yeah,
because I never really gave it a good chance because it was going so slow. And you'd even mentioned the mod before.
I got a mod list for you.
Yeah,
you set up.
No, I mean I just need the game to work.
Yeah,
because I played it for a little bit and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, for whatever reason, it only uses 1 core from your computer.
Which is I have 12 cores.
Yeah, so there's a couple different mods that I'll send to you that can unlock that potential.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it becomes a slog.
Yeah, it just slowed down. So I had like some visitor from another like tribe or whatever come, and that's when the game just dipped so much that I had to stop.
Oh god!
I was just like, this is absolutely awful.
Yeah, I would think it would run pretty well on your system.
I think it's because it was using 1 core.
Yeah,
because there's 12. I mean, anything runs. Cyberpunk can run in Ultra on
Yeah.
my system, man.
Yeah,
But,
RimWorld will do that.
yeah.
Insane that someone had to mod that in.
You think that devs would know how to say use more than one core?
Well,
Because I'm
originally,
not trying to do 11 other things in the background.
originally it was just a dev, one guy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Undertale was made by one dude, and it came out better than that.
Okay, but you can't like just because one guy did one thing doesn't mean every single guy should be
No,
able
that's the standard.
Undertale is also a very different type of.
It is it's like an RPG, and the gameplay is a little bit shallow with Undertale.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I did all 3 runs.
Okay.
Do you know about the 3 different runs of Undertale?
No, I've never played it.
Oh, you can do pacifist where you don't hurt anybody. You can do
Lame. Lame.
You can do genocide where you kill literally everybody. Oh,
That's what I'm talking about.
okay, there we go. And then you can do one that's just like a normal run where you mercy some people, you kill other people.
Okay.
And they all have different endings and everything. And there's a bunch of like the game is known for all the hidden little things in it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've only heard good things.
I mean, if you haven't tried it out before, if you're into RPGs like at all, you should check it out. It's like I don't know. It's sort of like the Pokemon games in terms of like that sort of you select a move and then you do that move kind of thing.
Turn-based.
It's sort of turn-based, but like they make turn-based fun.
Okay.
Is how I would put it, because I don't know how to describe the mechanic, but you have like whenever you get attacked, you have like this little heart thing that has to dodge the attacks. So it's very weird. Yeah.
Almost like a bullet hell kind of.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of like they have like a bullet hell mini game in there constantly. And the story is just like, if you like story, it's both hysterical and sort of like gripping.
How long's a playthrough?
10 hours max.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get through it really fast. Just choose whether you're going to do genocide, normal, or pacifist. Okay. I know what Jake's doing. It's going to be genocide.
I'm not going to play that game.
I didn't figure you were. It didn't seem like your style.
It's not.
Dude,
very picky.
Getting back to E3, Jake and I saw the
Battlefield
2042 trailer. It's looking good.
It
looks like they're getting back. It looks visually a lot like Battlefield 4, which I'm a fan of. Now there was some weird things, weird releases that they've talked about in the game. Apparently, now it's going to be like special character based, where the characters each have a skill, kind of like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I think
if they do it like
so they're copying Fortnite,
or Fortnite or Apex Legends or any of honestly Rainbow Six Siege. They're the ones who kind of
I could be completely wrong, but I feel like it might be a mix.
Team Fortress 2.
I think it's kind of gonna be like a mix. Like, so you know how in like Call of Duty they have like the base character, but then you can unlock those other operators.
Yeah.
Where I mean, in Call of Duty, you don't get they don't come with extra things, but I feel like they might be like the way Battlefield 2042 does it. It might be a kind of a mix over that, where they're not. You don't only get certain characters, like everybody has like a base character probably, but then like you have the option to unlock these certain operators or whatever, but also these operators have certain things like
it could also be like Battlefront, where there's like they won't call them heroes, they'll call them like operators or something, but they'll be like special characters.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hopefully you can just play as a normal person.
Well, speaking of that, do you guys remember? And let me make my point. Do you guys remember Fallout 76?
I didn't play it, but yeah, I remember it.
You remember it though.
Yeah.
They skipped 72 games in that series. The people who are making this Battlefield 2024, you said it was
2042.
2042. Okay, so they're gonna skip 38 games. That's gonna be even worse, man. That's what I'm saying. It's too ambitious.
Battlefield has.
They got to come up with Battlefield 5 first.
They already did.
Yeah,
Battlefield 6.
Battlefield has never been good at the naming convention. The first one was Battlefield 1942, right? Then you get Battlefield 2. Then you get Battlefield Vietnam, I want to say. Then Battlefield 2142. Then Battlefield.
Bad Company?
Yeah, I think Bad Company 1.
I played Bad
Company.
Then
Battlefield 3. Then Bad Company 2. Then Battlefield 4. Then Battlefield 1. Then Battlefield 5. Battlefield V, excuse me.
Oh,
V.
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 So they've never been particularly on point with the naming convention.
Yeah, they're as bad as the guys who made Fast
Oh,
and Furious.
don't forget Battlefield Hardline.
Oh, dude, actually, Hardline kind of sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
I never played it.
Do you guys know like the naming or shouldn't call it convention? Do you guys know the names of the 9 Fast and Furious movies?
Oh God.
Because I can pull this up real quick, and they have in 9 movies never settled on one convention. Hold up.
Yeah, I've never really watched them with with any purpose. If they're on TV,
I've never watched them.
They couldn't continue Too Fast, Too Furious. What are you gonna do? 3 Fast, 3 Furious?
Yeah.
Oh no!
You just got to make a pun out of each and every one.
Jake, they never decide on what the naming convention should be.
I'm just saying, like, after they couldn't really continue 2, so I don't blame them for having to switch it up again after 2.
Oh shit! I gotta find the list somewhere.
Yeah, you heard about the John Cena controversy, right?
Yes, dude. That video
quote
is
unquote
so
controversy.
Like hilariously uncomfortable to watch.
It was like someone had a gun to the back.
It literally was, yeah, like the cameraman had a gun. It was like, you better fucking say this.
The sadder part is the metaphorical gun is the Chinese saying that he'll never be paid again in China, and that's enough for him to bend the knee.
Okay.
And his Chinese was good, man. It was like passable. It was like, I mean, it wasn't good, but it was like, it was better than I thought John Cena would be able to speak Chinese.
Yeah, kind of weird.
It was very surreal to like watch him like have an extended speech in Chinese.
He had to apologize for saying Taiwan is its own independent country.
Which seems like the non-controversial opinion.
You would think.
I don't get why West Taiwan always gets so upset about that.
Yeah, dude. the entire continent in revolt, according to the KMT.
Okay, so can I read you out these names?
Oh yeah.
They never decide on a single like it's not like one is suddenly like the Fast and Furious 7 again. None of them are the same at all.
Let's hear it.
The Fast and the Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious. The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious. Notice for the 4th one, they just removed the.
And it was a good choice, I will say.
The first one does sound better.
Kind of weird.
The Fast and the Furious. It does. It's too much. But still, what the fuck? Fast 5.
That's good.
Fast and Furious 6. So the first one that makes sense, but they haven't had a Fast and a Furious insert number up until now.
Yeah.
Now, I like 7 because it's a callback to Fast 5. You think it would be Fast 7 now, but no, it's Furious 7.
That has nothing to do with the naming convention, but all right.
They brought back the for this. The Fate of the Furious.
Okay, we're back to the Furious.
But it's also a pun with 8.
It is.
Oh, the Fate. I didn't okay, but maybe my favorite one is the 9th one. I mean, they went really
F9?
Postmodern. F9.
F9.
F9. It could be Fast. It could be Furious.
Yeah,
there could be does in there. You don't fucking know.
Shouldn't
It's
it be
just
double,
the letter F.
Double
Yeah,
F?
shouldn't it be
F9?
FF9?
I mean, I guess they're trying to make a reference to F1, but F1 stands for Formula 1, which implies that they're a much lower formula.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think the 10th one's going to be?
Actually, they already have it listed.
Are you serious?
And it almost goes with the convention. It almost goes with the convention. Oh wait, no. It's the first one that'll fit with the convention. It'll be Fast and Furious 10.
Well, I mean, if the convention is puns, then you have the Fate of the Furious, and you have Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess there have been 2 puns, and potentially there will be 2 with just numbers after them.
I guess.
So you only had 8 naming conventions out of 10 movies.
This wasn't planned. It wasn't planned out at all, apparently.
No, apparently not at all.
Can't forget Hobbs and Shaw also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which to me seemed way more interesting than Fast and Furious.
I don't think I've seen a Fast and Furious movie past Too Fast, Too Furious.
I haven't seen a single one of them.
Dude,
I just think they look
saw a breakdown of one of the stunts they did where they're pulling like a vault behind 2 Mustangs, like a full-size bank vault. That's not CGI. They actually went out and did that. Made a full-size vault and 2 cars slinging it through the city.
That's crazy.
A Mustang has enough towing power to do that?
Well, these things are
Two.
tricked out, but
Two.
Oh,
And there's two of them.
between two of them, and a massive
Okay,
steel block.
that's a
in
little.
between.
I've seen the scene where they drive the car through the helicopter, which is
Like out the like the building and through the helicopter.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or I've seen the scene where like he like drives the car from one building into the other building. Yeah.
Well, that was in like Dubai or something. It looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which these people clearly haven't seen a car try to jump before.
Yeah, I
'cause
watched
it falls pretty fast.
I watched
Yeah.
a breakdown
They aren't
video
aerodynamic.
of like how fast the car had to be going to like make the jump, and like it just like there had to have been like an up ramp like going straight. It just would never have made it.
It's impressive amounts of practical effects though.
It is.
For the big CGI moments, there's a lot of practical stuff that went into.
I'm not
making
gonna
them feel
praise
real.
CGI.
It's an art form. Like it's,
No. I mean, okay. To the people who do CGI, mad respect. That's a lot of work. I'm never going to praise the way that CGI looks and makes it feel real. It's like I can put anything. Okay, not me. Somebody can put anything into a computer and make it feel real.
Well, you gotta.
It's like I was never impressed by like the Star Wars prequels because yeah, of course you can make an awesome space battle. It's not. No one did anything.
But wait, Seth, we can put more rocks into the shot with R2-D2 in the desert.
Exactly.
It's all
exactly.
worth it, of course.
Exactly. I was watching it and I was totally brought out of the scene by the lack of rocks.
Dude, if you ever seen a comparison video of the original Star Wars release and what it looks like today, there's just so much more crap on the screen that does nothing for the story or the shot at all.
Which just makes the shot worse.
Yeah.
I mean that's basic
Objectively worse.
staging, that's basic staging.
Yeah.
I just want to see what's important. The background is the background. I don't need bullshit in it.
Dude, did you see either the movie or the commercials for The Irishman with Robert De Niro?
I saw the beginning, not even the half of The Irishman.
Where they use CGI to de-age him and put him into World War II?
Yes, yeah, which didn't work at all. It's like, what if Robert De Niro was made of plastic?
It's still his old body, though, so when he lifts things, it looks like a lot more work than it would be for someone in their 20s.
It looks
you
like an
know?
old man lifting something.
Dude, there's one scene where he throws a rock into the river, and it just looks so, so off.
Yeah, CGI is like a tool, not the solution.
Yeah.
You know?
I heard like a lot of actors now are trying to get written into their contracts that they can't be CGI'd back into movies when they're dead. Because look what they did with Grand Moff Tarkin and whichever Disney Star
Carrie
Wars
Fisher.
that was. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was
That
creepy.
was a bad move.
And it's like
That's a bad look.
I'll give them. They did a good job, but he still looks inhuman. And I still, he
it
didn't.
works for the
the
character.
Tarkin, I thought it worked.
Yeah, I think it
almost.
works for
It
the
was
character.
really good.
I don't think he
Yeah.
needed to be in the movie.
No, just get a live actor.
Also, you could have just gotten a live actor, and I would have picked up from context who he was.
Yeah.
But also, he didn't need to turn around. Like for a long time, they just showed you his back.
Yeah.
He didn't need to turn around.
Yeah.
I also would have
Because
picked
you
up.
can simulate the voice just fine.
Yeah, or just get a voice actor.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to know the difference. He can probably do it he was doing it just fine. You know? I would have entirely believed that was Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, it's baffling to me that we have to go out of our way to not be reproduced in death.
Or, like,
through
now-
animation.
Now for Princess Leia, for Carrie Fisher's character, I can kind of understand why they did it. Because she's so iconic.
And because she was so important to A New Hope.
Yeah, to A New Hope.
And it was a quick scene where she just said, Hope.
Yeah, like at the very
Yeah.
end.
Because I was wondering, why is it called A
That
New
was like
Hope?
one of the first real like instances of them trying to do that kind of thing, right? Where they like put somebody who was dead
It
or
was certainly the most prolific.
de-aged
Yeah.
them. Was that the first de-aging or the most prolific de-aging, or was she already dead at that point?
No, she was alive at that point,
But
but
they
they
de-aged her.
no, I don't think they used her at all. I think she was entirely like they just put her face onto something. Because I mean, Carrie Fisher looks nothing, or well, she really looks nothing like she used to. But back then, she looked nothing like she used to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they just took a model or someone
Yeah.
who looked like, Princess Leia, and had her stand there.
But as far as the Disney Star Wars going with killing off old characters, They killed off Han Solo first. Harrison Ford's still alive. They killed off Luke. Mark Hamill's still alive.
Leia's still alive.
They put it all on Leia. They rolled the dice and they got Snake Eyes.
And they and they set it up so they could have killed Leia.
Yeah.
They literally could have killed her off and then didn't.
Why'd they do Han like that? Why did he have to
I feel
die
like
at all?
it might have been Harrison Ford.
Yeah, just didn't want to be in the movies.
Get me out of this fucking contract. Get me out of these movies.
And
I don't want to do it anymore.
As soon as Mark Hamill read the
see
script for like episode 7, he was just like, nah.
Yeah. If you go back and watch like all the actors hated like the last movie. If you go back and watch their like,
dude, John Boyega talking about Star Wars in the last couple of years has been incredible. He's so fed up with the way that Disney runs the show.
All these interviews like before the movie came out, but after they finished shooting, like where like Hollywood press is like, so are you guys excited for this movie? Like on the red carpet, and everyone just like does exactly that. They kind of cringe and they look at each other. They all go like, "Are we gonna like ride it out?"
Dude, they had the exact same face as the people at the red carpet for the Game of Thrones finale.
Exactly, the exact same face.
Same look. They're like
those compilations like came up like back to back for me,
where they know what's gonna come from the fan base.
Yeah. They're like, glad it's over.
Dude, apparently, Disney's they're starting a new Star Wars show, and the showrunner is this woman, Leslie Headland. And if you've never heard of her, she was the personal assistant to one Harvey Weinstein.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's getting her own Star Wars series now. Also,
I'm still gonna watch it.
She's never seen Star Wars. When people ask her what her favorite Star Wars is, she's like, it's the one you make in your own mind from the experience of Star Wars.
Get this bitch out of there.
She has no idea what she's doing. She says the story is going to be more or less about her. Just said Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You still gonna watch that?
Nope. I'll wait for the reviews to come out and determine if I'll watch it.
What if it's like really good?
Hey, if it's really good, it's really good.
I can't give Disney any money, man.
I mean,
not after the Mulan concentration camp controversy. I'm not giving Disney a penny.
I feel that. I mean, would you still watch the? No, that's not really it. That's a false moral equivalency. Never mind.
What were you gonna?
I was gonna say, would you still watch the movie Napoleon? But they used the Red Army to make all those scenes. But the Red Army were like they weren't concentration camps. They were just the Red Army.
I mean, there's historical films where a lot of bad stuff happened during the filming. Doesn't make them any less good, but if I can choose what products I'm going to support in in today's era.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't do anything about the fact of a movie that came out forever.
Yeah, I mean, think of how much of a mess shooting Apocalypse Now was.
Yeah.
Still a fantastic movie.
And like if you dislike the fact that they used actual corpses, I mean, you can't do anything about that now. They made their money.
What's done is done. But Disney has a future planned out, and I don't want to be a part of that.
I can see your point there, but they own Star Wars, and I like Star Wars.
But they butchered Star Wars.
Did you see The Mandalorian?
No.
It was pretty good.
I've heard good things.
I've heard good
things.
But again, I'd have to pay for Disney to see that. Disney Plus to see that.
You would. And also, I don't want to watch...
I'm borrowing somebody's Disney Plus account, so I don't have to pay for it.
See, I bought it.
It's fair.
I bought it, and that was stupid, because I've not watched a single other thing on there.
That's why I asked for my uncle.
What are their other flagship shows? They have access. They have access to the Marvel stuff, right? So they have Loki.
Yeah, if you like that.
Loki. Yeah,
and I've not heard anything good about.
They also have Nat Geo, which actually I think I watched. Planet Earth 2.
I do like that, but you can also get that on Netflix.
Can you?
Can't you?
Can you still?
Or they have other nature documentaries.
Yeah. What's that British guy who always does the voices?
David Attenborough.
Yeah, I like it. I just something about his voice. It's just, I want you to explain what this turtle is to me. You know?
He could be doing commentary over the Baltimore crackheads, and it would be the most beautiful thing.
It would actually be.
There are a few that are just so
engaging
good.
in the beautiful mating material.
Yeah,
David Attenborough. I love. I just had his name in my head and I totally just spaced. Werner Herzog, yeah. I love Werner Herzog. I'd like to hear him do something about the crack epidemic.
He did the commentary for what was it called? Like Bear Man? What was that documentary about the guy who
Grizzly Man.
Grizzly Man. Yeah, Grizzly Man. About this guy who thought he could
Like
work his way into like a bear colony.
That goes poorly, doesn't it?
Yes.
Is that the one? Is that the one where the screaming comes from?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard just the audio of the screams.
Dude, Werner Herzog, because there was a final shot of when the guy gets mauled by the bear, and his wife never saw the final shot, and Werner Herzog, he was like, you must never look at this, never look at this, destroy this, and it's horrific.
Yeah, I bet it is. He got mauled by bears.
Yeah, that's why you don't live with bears,
or presumably a bear.
Yeah, I think it was just a single bear that did him in. But
yeah, bears live alone.
That's all it takes. A single bear.
Yeah. I can't beat a bear in a fight. Maybe a black bear, but
I wouldn't want to try and fight a black bear. I mean, a black bear would probably run away.
Yeah, that's why I think I could beat a black bear, because they run away.
Dude, who do you think would win a fight? A grizzly or a gorilla?
That's hard to say.
Flat land, open plain.
Flat land.
Yeah.
Bear. Bear can run so much faster than a gorilla.
Yes.
Gorillas also don't live on flat land.
Yeah.
So, the bear wins.
I think a gorilla could put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, I know the Romans.
He has agility. Bears are good at heading in a straight direction.
Yeah, and I guess if there were trees, the gorilla would have like a big edge.
Yeah.
I know that the Romans had Colosseum fights between bears, or had a Colosseum fight, because as I'm about to explain, it doesn't go well, between bears and lions.
Oh, God.
Where first they sent out one, I think it was like a black bear, was the bears indigenous to Europe, a black bear and a lion, and the lion ran up to the bear, and the bear hit it in the head, but cats have very thin bones, so the lion died.
Yeah.
So then they sent out two lions, and they ran up to the bear, and the bear hit them, and they died. And then they sent out 4 lions, and the same thing kept happening over and over again, because it takes one hit from a bear to kill a lion.
Dude, was it History Channel that did Deadly? No, Spike that did Deadliest Warrior, right?
Yes, Spike.
While Spike was running that,
I forgot about
why
that
wasn't
show.
the Animal Planet channel running Deadliest Animal?
That would have been cool.
That would have been sweet.
I would have watched that. I would have watched the CGI, which this would be the early 2000s, so the CGI would be CGI would be terrible.
Yeah.
But like
The CGI.
the CGI, that's what Pixar does. No, the CGI would have been terrible, but I'd still watch it.
Okay.
You know,
Dude, I loved watching nature shows when I was a kid.
I still do.
Oh, yeah.
there's something calming about them. You know,
Dude, I've gone from land animals when I was a kid to deep sea creatures now.
okay, those things are kind of fucking terrifying.
They're
yeah.
awesome.
Like,
They're so
the
cool.
deep sea gigantism is so weird.
Dude, underneath the polar ice caps, that's where you get massive creatures.
Oh, because there's some biological law about that, where it's like the larger a creature is, the more energy efficient it is, because you have the lowest surface area in which to lose heat.
Dude,
That's why they get so big.
They have the Greenland shark, which apparently can live like 400 to 500 years.
Yeah.
Are
And
you
it's-
serious?
Because
Yes.
it lives underneath the polar ice, there hasn't been light there in forever, so they've lost their eyesight. And they live for 500 years just hunting by nose and sound.
Are they huge?
Yes.
They're big.
Are they bigger than like a whale shark?
Not bigger than a whale shark.
Okay.
But
But
big.
comparatively to like you can find Greenland sharks in other places, like in like the southern part or like the northern parts of the Atlantic.
Oh,
or
okay,
the
but
southern
they're
parts.
gigantic compared to that.
compared to like the regular the regular sized.
Dude, they're battle scarred too because they live for so long.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
entire hide is covered in centuries of battle damage. It's so cool.
Dude, that's weird. An old one living now could remember like the Charles V.
Yeah,
He couldn't remember it. He has no idea who Charles V was,
but
he was around. You know.
Yeah, dude. That is absolutely insane. Dude, the Greenland shark could have been born when Columbus landed in the West Indies.
Yeah, dude, which is so sorry. This is just a tangent that I think every time anyone says the West Indies, I think of this. He went so far west that he went around the globe, landed on somewhere where he went so far west that he went around the globe and then called it the West Indies, which on maps would have been east of the regular Indies.
That's actually a good point.
What a
Yeah, I never
fucking
thought about
moron.
that. Yeah.
What a fucking idiot.
Just based on what he thought.
Yeah. It's like if you actually believe that, you should have said the East Indies.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's sort of fortunate he didn't because it was in the West.
Yeah.
But still, you fucking moron.
Dude, the sailing across the Atlantic in a wooden boat, just in concept, absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
To think you can conquer waves of that height, and somehow they did.
I mean, people talk all the time about how it's like, oh, I was born in the wrong generation, or they wanted to go like to the past. I would never go to the past. I want to go past like latest 1970.
Yeah, honestly.
You know, until they had air conditionings in every single house, I'm not going before then. They didn't get the splinters out of toilet paper until the 1850s.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh. Nah, I just have a rank ass, dude.
Which the fact that that
Jesus.
toilet paper came before they got the splinters out of toilet paper is insane to me.
Dude,
People in the past were just like, hey, beats my left hand.
There's a point where cashiers would say, "Would you like your toilet paper splinter or splinter free?"
And they would have actually said that because in the past, and Jake, you would really particularly loathe this. My dad talks about this. He can remember it. You would just go up to the guy in charge of the grocery store and tell him what you needed, and he would go and get it. You had to talk to somebody anytime you went to a grocery store.
No.
Dude, you know what's kind of
self-checkout is one of the best things that's ever happened to
you know what's kind of like that? In San Francisco, there's been so much like petty robbery that goes on at the Walgreens there. They've had to shut down 12 Walgreens. And not only that, now like everything as mundane as newspapers is locked behind a little cabinet thing, and you have to ask one of the staff to come unlock it.
Everything. So basically everything is locked.
Yeah, everything from toilet paper to newspapers and just mundane things. It's bad.
I mean, you've heard about those, like, I don't know, meth gangs. Sorry, I just took a sip of beer. Those meth head gangs in Hawaii that steal the Spam and sell it, because Spam is so valuable in Hawaii because they love pork over there, especially Spam, and it has to all be shipped in. They will steal the Spam and sell it on the streets in order to make money to buy more meth, to the point that Spam is now locked up in Japanese grocery stores.
Bro,
That's insane.
how much Spam can we get at like the grocery store here, do you think?
All of it. You can make a house out of all
I
the
mean,
Spam.
wait, what?
Dude,
How much?
We should like one of us should move to Hawaii and just start shipping Spam in and start like just like slinging Spam on the street.
I imagine
You'll be killed by the
Spam.
meth gangs. That's
I imagine
competition.
Spam has
I will
better
supply the
logistics
meth
supply
gangs.
lines than we do. I mean, think about it. They're a major corporation. It's just expensive to send things over there.
Oh, dude, think about the process.
But it would be such a good like side hustle at least though.
Think about the process of making all that Spam. Just like a giant pig blender. You just drop everything.
They're not
Okay.
made all in one
But
spot. It's not like they take all the pigs from one
I
from
hope
the
they
whole
do.
country and one giant like football field sized pig blender.
Okay.
Is it better if
but
it's
Jake,
like 1,000 individual
why-
pig shredders rather than one?
Yeah,
big one?
actually, I don't. Yeah, actually, I think it is better because
Jake, but why not though? Spam stays good in the can for 3 years.
Is it just 3 years?
it's
On the can, I think it says 3 years.
Because that always seemed
legally
like
that's all they can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, legally.
Like
Because it always seemed like an apocalypse food to me.
I think you could
I
probably
think they're
have it
forgetting.
for 30.
I think they're
you know?
I think they're forgetting a zero on the
With
end
all
of
that
that.
Yeah,
salt,
yeah.
preservatives, yeah.
You know, but
Dude,
okay,
I'm kind
but
of craving some Spam.
Jake, okay, I hate people that are too high and mighty for Spam.
Nah, dude.
You
it's
know,
good.
that shit is
Spam cooked
or
over the fire.
Scrapple. It's like when someone puts in notes, but Spam or Scrapple. It's like we don't have to be friends, my dude.
Yeah.
If you don't
Spam.
like the way I live, that's fine.
Spam over the fire when you're camping or something.
Ooh, dude, a Spam, egg, and
Yeah.
cheese
Oh.
breakfast bagel. Just
Oh yes, yeah.
destroyed.
Dude, with like a little bit of mayo,
I mean, a thing.
ranch or
What
something.
when I get home from work, I like to just grill up some Spam like bacon, make it with some eggs.
Dude,
Dude, it's so good. It is so good. But Jake, I wanted to say to you, why wouldn't it be one location that makes all the Spam?
I don't have a good
It
answer.
could just be one location. It's not like other
realistically you'd
meat
have to
products.
move all the all the pigs there, right? Maybe you grow them.
No, because you can keep them good for like a few days. If you kept them refrigerated or frozen. Who cares if it's frozen? It's Spam.
Yeah, I guess.
It's literally the lowest quality meat that humans are allowed to consume.
No one's going, what are the ingredients?
No one has ever looked at the ingredients list on Spam. The ingredients could just say
Spam?
pork, bad. That could be it.
Dude, have you ever actually seen one of those like animal carcass meat grinders?
I have not.
They don't look like a blender. They look like a recycling
Yeah,
shredder with
yeah.
a really big cogs.
Oh yeah,
It just takes
grind,
chunks out over and over. Yeah.
it
It's brutal.
tastes good.
It does taste good.
You know,
That's-
when I die, throw my body in one of those.
Yeah.
You know.
That's one way to get rid of a body. 'Cause no one would ever find that.
No, and actually, if you do it with humans, taste like pork. So
Yeah.
they would
If
never...
you're too lazy to take them all the way to the grinder, just drop them in the pig fields.
I mean,
I'll
that's
get
what
the
they're
job done.
serving over at IKEA.
Well, I
Was
know
it-
that. Oh, sorry.
So wasn't there a horse in the
Yeah.
IKEA meatballs?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I
They're
don't
still
care.
I don't-
They're
delicious.
delicious.
they
Yeah.
I
taste
don't
good.
care.
I mean, I don't get why people were so upset about that. It's
You
like,
heard about,
what's different between eating a horse and a cow?
That's exotic European, right? You came to IKEA for the exotic.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's Swedish.
If someone told me that Swedes regularly eat horses, I'd be like, sure, fine, whatever. The meatballs taste good.
There's got a lot of meat on a horse.
I actually had a cousin. No, not my cousin. It was my aunt, maybe. It was some family member. I can't remember exactly. But she brought up the whole, like, horse meat and the IKEA meatballs thing. And she said, you know, what's the difference between a... For context, she's a vegan. And she's like, what's the difference between, you know, eating horse meat and eating cow? And I was like, yeah, no, exactly. And she thought that she'd gotten me. It's like, yeah, it's like if you wouldn't eat a horse, you wouldn't eat a cow. And I was like, oh, no, I'd eat a horse. And she was like, well, you wouldn't eat a dog. And I was like, no, I'd try a dog. And she,
Yeah, I mean, if it's served to me.
she's like, would you eat a monkey? And she was like, no. I was like, yeah, I'd eat a monkey.
Over-
She's like, well, would you eat a
Over-
person? And I was like, no, I wouldn't eat a person. She's like, so where do you draw the line? Person. Like, that's pretty much... I'll try any meat below person. I'll try... I mean, if they're endangered, I won't because it's illegal. But, like, right
Fuck
time,
that.
right...
I mean,
if it's already dead...
Yeah, if it's served to me, I don't care if it's in danger.
Like, I'm not going to hunt down a dolphin. But, like, if the dolphin's already dead, it feels kind of wasteful not to eat the dolphin.
yeah, I'm not
at that
going
point.
fishing for sharks, but if someone serves me some shark fin soup, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. You know? I will eat
Yeah.
anything that isn't a human being. Like, I'm not going to go upstairs and kill my dog after this.
Jeez.
Because I love him. But, like, if someone was like, do you want this dog meat? I'd be like, I mean, I'll try it. What does dog taste
What's the
like?
most exotic meat you've ever had?
Do you remember sophomore year when I got that exotic meat jerky?
No.
Oh, I had a lot of...
I
had
remember.
I had
What kind of meat we talking?
I had rattlesnake. I had ostrich. I had a lot of weird meat. It all kind of tasted gamey and vaguely sweet.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean that's how I describe most of the exotic meat I've ever had.
I've had alligator before.
Oh, I had bear. Alligator. I had that in jerky form, but I haven't had it in like normal form. I've heard that's really good.
It is. It is pretty good.
Yeah,
You guys hear about Subway's tuna issue? How like they just came out that like they did tests on Subway's tuna and
and it
they
had
could
trout
not,
in it.
No, they could not find any tuna DNA
Yeah,
in the tuna.
What the fuck is in it?
I didn't read the article. I was just
Like that, that artificial crab
Noped
kind of
out.
stuff.
Probably
stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
gross. Yeah, Subway sucks.
My mom says she loves the seafood salad at Subway, and I'm like, Subway's not the place to be going for seafood.
Yeah.
I don't get people who... I mean, maybe this is just because I live
used
in
to-
Maryland, but I don't get people who don't eat, like, fresh seafood.
Well, what kind of seafood?
I couldn't eat, like, frozen crab or frozen lobster.
Because there's some people who
I mean, I'll eat it in like a soup, like a clam chowder soup.
Yeah, sure, if
or
it's-
like
or, like, if
a
it was,
cream of
like-
crab or something.
Like, if it was fried, too, I'd eat that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to have, like, frozen canned.
No,
crab.
I'm not gonna.
If you
I'm
make
not
me
gonna be out in Ohio and order the oysters. No.
like if you
Yeah.
give me like a crab cake from Phillips, I'm gonna be like, no.
What about the one?
I kinda
in-
like
What
crab
about the one in
cakes.
Baltimore? Right.
I
down by
no,
the
I do
water?
too. But like, we live in fucking Maryland, Jake.
Yeah, that's true.
Do the
We got
Phillips restaurants in Maryland not get their stuff fresh?
No, they get it from Indonesia.
What?
Yeah, it's from
What?
Indonesia.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why
Cheap
Indonesia when you
labor
have?
and low regulations.
I guess. Dude, the price
That's
of
so
labor.
deceptive.
Yeah.
The price of labor is where you get ridiculous like upticks in cost. Like looking at medicine, like apparently 90% of the cost of medicine is just the paperwork of dealing with insurance companies. And
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, and actually, like, insurance companies falsely inflate the price of medical,
Oh, yeah.
which is why I think there's only two solutions to our medical problem in the United States, and they're the opposite solutions of each other.
Okay.
Where I either believe in ICE accounts or single payer.
What's
gotta-
a nice account?
Individual care exchange. It's basically you never talk to an insurance company with my ICE account.
Okay.
You go with the base price for all of these things, not the insurance company price. Like, ibuprofen doesn't cost $5 a pill.
Yeah.
I know it costs 10 cents a pill. You charge me for the time like I would like a mechanic or something like that, because you're
Okay.
essentially a biological mechanic, and I pay you for that time.
Yeah, dude.
Or single payer where it's like, fuck, I would like single payer where I still pay a bit, and just the government sort of like, don't deal with the insurance companies. If there's any overruns, deal with me.
Dude,
But
what about,
I want the medical insurance companies out of it. And
what about an inverted system of that where the government will cover the most exotic and rare diseases, up to cancer, but the more basic stuff you cover with private insurance?
that would be a brilliant idea.
'Cause
Because
it's-
you have a problem with the British system where people will go to the hospital for like scratches.
Yeah.
Where it's like you don't, like, I get it's free, but you don't need to come in for that.
Dude, like the waiting rooms in Canada, I have heard horror stories about.
Yeah.
Like there's this one construction guy who stepped on a nail at work. Immediately went to the hospital. They're like, you got to come back in like 2 weeks to get this checked out. Of course, by then
Holy shit.
He's fine.
already developed tetanus. And
Oh, he never got his tetanus shot.
no, and he lost the foot. All because the emergency
his
room couldn't see
career.
him the same. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't work anymore. See, the French have actually done a good job with it. But the French also spend 12% of their budget on healthcare, which
Yeah.
and they have high taxes on red meat, on cigarettes, on alcohol, and things that make you unhealthy.
Yeah.
So it's like if we want to do a system like the French did, one, we have to be willing to accept 12% of our budget going to that, and two, we have to accept that at that point it is the responsibility of the government to regulate the health of American citizens, because it's a social thing at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's like, I realize that it's like a big ultimatum to make to Americans, but not to Europeans.
It is.
But
yeah.
but like, I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing. If that's a thing as a society that we're willing to do, that we want to do, then that's what we should do. Because the current system is so bad, it's unfucking believable.
Yeah.
It's like you either need to take care of it on your own through an ICE account, or you need to do it through single payer. It's just, it can't be the way that it is anymore.
Yeah. We're not cohesive enough of a culture to do that
Yeah.
in the US.
It's like I needed to go to a doctor recently, but my mom's in between jobs. I'm still on her health insurance. I just couldn't.
I mean, imagine the eating habits of someone in Anchorage, Alaska, determining the price you pay all the way over here in Maryland,
Yeah, I mean,
The price of what somebody here in like DC or Maryland pays for somebody who eats super healthy out and
Yeah.
I mean, also Alaska, they might be eating
Alaska.
a lot of fish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, fish is healthy for you,
It's a lot to put the burden of the others in your society on Americans just because we're raised so individualistically.
Yeah, I mean, and I can also see how the French can maybe justify that more, because everybody in France is sort of, well, I mean, France is the size of the Midwest, it's all sort of one environment, maybe two environments, it's not that biologically diverse, or not,
Environmentally diverse.
environmentally, ecologically, that's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. You'd have to take into account all the regional foods people have available and how that affects them.
Yeah, because like, look at Maryland. I can get blue crab so much cheaper than someone in Ohio can, you know?
Yeah. It's just, the country's too big. It's just too big.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
I
We're all
know
supposed to
it's-
be under one flag. 300 million's a stretch. Maybe
should-
30 people could agree on something. Maybe 300. 300 million? How long is this supposed to last?
I don't know. In China, they got 1.4 billion people who all agree on one thing, so
Yeah,
you kind of have to.
but they've been living under really strict systems for like 5,000 years.
Also, you don't get a choice.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
understand. They don't understand what freedom is.
I mean, they understand what it is. They,
They
just
just don't
can't
have
talk
it.
about it. Yeah.
I mean,
It's a pipe dream.
what do you think would happen if everyone in the Communist Party just disappeared tomorrow? What would Chinese society reform itself as?
See, that's difficult to say because this is like the first time in history that they're sort of a middle class society.
Yeah.
Not wholly a middle class society.
Yeah.
But they're at least, and I realize that the first through third world thing is sort of bullshit, but like they're, you know, if we were still using that metric, they'd be like a second world country, you know?
No, there's definitely like kids who grow up in urban China who have lives rather similar to ours.
Yeah.
I mean, much different interactions with the government, but yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
Similar
a
standard
lot
of
of different things just culturally
Yeah.
than us, but it's as different culturally for that select group of people, like young adults, as it would be with me and like a German guy.
I feel like
you know.
I
Yeah.
feel like a big part of it is because they all look relatively similar to each other, whereas America has a lot more diversity.
Oh,
than
okay. I
China
thought you were
does.
about to be racist, but I see your point.
No,
Yeah,
no.
like we have a lot more
We have
diversity.
like a ton
yeah.
of diversity.
Yeah.
And China does not have nearly as much diversity as we do. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that plays a part in why it's probably easier to be so homogenized as a culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's why they work so hard to push down minorities as much as possible and make them conform to the Han standard.
Yeah.
Or disappear them,
Yeah.
like they did with the Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Like they did with Jack Ma.
Yeah.
One of the richest
Yeah,
men
he's
in the
gone
world.
now, right?
Oh no, he came back.
Oh, yeah, I
And
thought-
he has
But he has a
nothing but good
different
words
tune to
say
play,
about
yeah.
the Communist
Oh,
Party.
Yeah.
Shit. That's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's.
I mean, it's funny in sort of a morbid way.
Yeah, it's there's some dark humor there. It's funny in the same way as John Cena apologizing for Taiwan is funny.
Yeah.
That was so pathetic. What a twist.
It was so just surreal. Like watching the video, I'm like, my brain was like, there's not like his voice is just so American. He's just such an American dude. Like,
Yeah, he's marketed himself as this all-American standard.
Yeah.
and to hear him speak for like 2.5, 3
Then
minutes.
he comes out with the fluent Chinese and talks
for
about
like several minutes. Yeah.
And the thing is, he never says what he did wrong.
No, he just says, "I'm so sorry."
Because to even say what he did wrong would be problematic in
Oh.
itself over there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So he said, yeah, I apologize for the bad things I've done, the mistakes I've made.
Maybe he was just in like they edited the video. He was just actually in a Chinese Baptist church.
You
know?
It seemed like he was at a confessional.
Yeah.
Because he was speaking like the
He's-
might of God might come down on him one
Yeah,
day.
he seemed that was like really like one of the most like the most surreal parts was he was very sincere. It wasn't like he was like, God, I have to do this or like whatever. It was like it seemed like he was genuinely sorry. Like,
Dude, that means he really thinks that the future is in the Chinese market.
yeah.
He's willing to...
I'm starting to become convinced of that. I thought for a long time they were like the Japanese, but they might not be.
How so? What do you mean?
Well, we all thought the Japanese were going to take over in the 70s, and then they stagnated in the 80s and crashed in the 90s.
Yeah. We'll have to see how China plays out this population crisis.
Yeah, I mean they could still fail. They lie about their growth a lot.
Yeah.
I mean they lie a lot. Period.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of weird because in China there's a lot of bottom up lying instead of just the leaders
Yeah.
lying about what's going on. It's the local representatives who have to make a quota and they'd rather fudge the numbers a little bit. But when 50,000 villages fudge the number just a little bit, it's suddenly a much bigger issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the central government certainly encourages.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like when the Xi Jinping went on his corruption program, and exactly 10% of officials were removed for corruption. Exactly 10%. Because 100% are corrupt, but he just needed to meet a quota.
Yeah, man. Anti-corruption campaigns from communist leaders. It's got a bad taste to it. It comes out
It's all corruption.
all kinds of wrong.
It's all corruption. That's how the state works over there.
Yeah, we just gotta. I guess Xi Jinping had to make sure it was the right kind of corruption, playing for the right team. But dude, apparently, they're considering a 3-child policy.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now, if for the 1-child policy, they were willing to force abortions on people and wipe out a large number of infants, what are they willing to do to ensure a 3-child policy? What kind of immoral acts could ensure that? It's gonna be very dark times in China.
Because they really can't be doing 3.
How is the government going to force you to have 3 kids?
Whoa. I thought it would be a maximum of 3 kids.
Well, they're trying to increase the numbers too.
Why do they want to increase the numbers? Because of the males?
Because of the males, and right now, the population's kind of stagnating.
Oh,
poor
okay.
China stagnating at what, like 1.8 billion?
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion.
They're getting to the point where I think the reason China's been so aggressive recently is that they realize that they have about a 20-year window in which they'll have the maximum amount of military-aged males available for combat or whatever they need to do.
Okay.
After those 20 years, though, if China keeps on the same population track it is now, they're going to have far more old people than...
Oh, so they're going to go the way of Japan, which I just said they would.
Potentially.
I feel a little stupid for that. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not something you'd think of with China. You think of a massive growing population, but as they move to that middle class space, people are more interested in investing in like real estate and stuff.
And people don't want to have kids as much
Yeah.
when they're middle to upper class.
I mean, think about it. It is a booming time in China to be a single and rich, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole settling down with the family and multiple kids, it's not what's hot in China right now.
See, I find it weird that in China, like, fast food is considered luxury food.
Dude, they do
Because
it
you
up.
don't know that, but you also in the rest of China, you just don't know that the food is safe.
That's true. That is true, man. You've heard about the gutter oil, is it called? Where people in urban cities, the street vendors will open up a sewer, take a little ladle, just skim the fat off the top, add that to the fryer.
Gross.
This is well documented.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty gross. And you can imagine the types of
My want for spam is now gone.
you can imagine the types of diseases that develop from that. Yeah. Man, the health standards when I was there, dude.
That's insane.
Bad.
I would not want to. You said they're mostly street vendors that are doing that?
Yeah, mostly street vendors.
I mean, I'm all about trying local cuisine, but that definitely puts a damper on that.
Dude, I saw like tarantulas and a live octopus.
Octopus? I would be
on sticks.
I would still prefer that over a tarantula.
Well, yeah, over tarantula, yeah, but I don't know, man. Like the octopus is so smart.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to kill like a crab. It's like whatever. It's a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
The octopus is very
Highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Are we talking about killing and eating octopi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do.
we tangented from Chinese street food.
Oh, okay.
Where I saw just octopus on a stick, still wriggling.
Well, that's just because of the
Is
soy
it
sauce.
octopus or squid?
There hadn't been anything added to it yet. I think they just
I
plucked
mean,
it out
yeah,
of the freezer.
I've seen like some of those like
well, no, see when
Asian
they
mukbang girls who like will eat like the fucking octopus or
Oh
squid.
my god,
Just
yeah,
like
we need to talk about that.
just straight up and like
Bro, there's
giggling and like shit.
There's ASMR mukbang channels where people will eat like cat and dog and just they call it exotic ASMR mukbangs. That's one thing. At least those animals are dead and cooked. The live ones though,
Yeah,
I can't.
I've seen a number of the live like squid or octopus ones.
It's fighting to get out
Yeah.
of your throat while you eat it.
It's like
Wait, is
wriggling
it-
around like in the chopsticks.
Is it
and you're
really
like,
still alive?
Yes.
Because I've seen the Japanese places
No,
where
no.
they put the sauce
No,
on
no,
and they
no,
start
dude,
to
like,
move again.
like living octopus.
There's one that I watched where this girl like she eats them dead, but they're alive on her plate, and she chops them, and they go from pink to gray. You can watch them die on the plate, and then she eats them. It's insane.
It's absolutely brutal.
It's one of the weirdest things because it's not even like a hard chop. She just like taps them with her hand,
Oh yeah,
and they-
squids die really fast.
and
yeah.
they go from pink to gray. But like then she immediately like picks it right up and just like
There's a video.
takes a chunk out of the top of it.
Dude, there's a video where she's chopping up the octopus, and the arms of the octopus have some of the highest neuron counts in the whole body. It is like its own brain. She's just chopping the brains off of the octopus, and then rips the head in half. It's like, oh my
You see,
god.
I-
Sorry, Seth. There was one video where there was like these little. Imagine like a bunch of tadpoles, but longer, all of them alive, living in the water, and she just dumps salt over the entire tray.
My God.
They are wriggling for their lives as they are attacked,
dehydrated.
Suffocating?
dehydrated to
Yeah.
death. Yeah,
That's crazy. I kind of want to watch this video now.
I mean visually it's stunning. You've
Yeah.
seen this.
And also, I mean, let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, these girls that are doing this are like the cutest of the cute.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, it's so conflicting because you're watching this absolute baddie like giggle as she rips the head off of a live octopus and eats it. And you're like, what am I feeling right
Dude,
now?
and the craziest part of that, monetized. Big
Monetized.
fat green check monetized. I don't know if animal cruelty is.
But if you say the word war in the first minute of your video, that's demonetized.
Yeah, if you mention the mustache man from Germany, you're gonna get censored.
I mean, I think how hard it is to be a history channel and not be allowed to say the word war within the first 60
Do you
seconds.
think of a channel as clean as the Great War channel, where they
Oh, I
cover
love the
they
Great
cover
War channel,
the Great
dude.
War day by day as it happened?
I love that channel.
They're gonna like the way that like with YouTube changing all of their rules and stuff. Educational channels, especially historical channels, have taken big hits.
It happens inevitably.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, they really have, which sucks because it's like they're just talking about shit that happened.
Yeah.
They're not even talking about contemporary events and wars. It's like no one's offended about the Franco-Prussian War anymore.
Yeah.
We're over it. One of those countries doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, dude. It's gotten to a bleak place on YouTube. The only stuff that makes money anymore is drama. You know, starting crap with other creators.
Yeah.
It's dark times for YouTube culture, I would say.
Yeah. It's not like the golden era of YouTube where it was just tons and tons of great. I mean, there's still like some people you can find that are like you showed me Nakey Jakey.
Yeah.
And he's like unbelievably good.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know, like
Quality content.
I think I've watched his hour-long Last of Us 2 review, a game I never planned to play, you know, ever in my life.
No thanks.
I've watched that like 3 times,
yeah, man.
you know, because he's just great. But a lot of this shit is just like Mr. Beast, where it's like, oh, I stayed in this hole for 24 hours.
Do you remember that trend a couple years ago where people would stay in the mall overnight and
Yeah,
film themselves?
Oh yeah.
And it was called the 24-hour challenge, even
Yeah.
though no one stayed for 24 hours.
Yeah.
They just left in the morning.
Yeah, it's more like it's like a 12-hour challenge. Like
Yeah,
you can
you're-
stay from like 8 to 8.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
Well, I guess if it was a 12-hour challenge, I would just go when the mall opened and leave when the mall closed. Like,
Yeah.
I think a character who's really emblematic of what's happened to YouTube is someone like H3H3. where 7-8 years ago he was like dead broke living in Israel, making some of the funniest content I've ever seen. Now he's gotten into the most boring podcast I've ever heard in my life, with some of the worst takes. It's a mess, and now it's all about the money and the growing of the brand. He won't have anyone on the podcast who isn't going to get him more views.
Did you hear about the whole frenemies thing
with Trisha Paytas?
Yeah.
I
was following that. I thought it was funny.
I'm not gonna give Ethan Klein the views.
I mean, I don't watch the podcast at all. I was just following the.
Oh, it's interesting drama.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It was kind of fun, because Trisha Paytas is an insane person.
She's insane. Ethan's a sellout. It's an interesting combination.
Yeah, I see. I can't dislike Ethan because he made all that great content when I was younger.
So did Adam Sandler. He made great movies back in the day. Now he's a hack.
Yeah, I don't really have any nostalgia for Adam Sandler. My parents have always my parents have
Waterboy back in the day.
No, see, Cam, my parents always had multiple brain cells, so I never watched Adam Sandler movies.
All right. Like that's it was like a movie
Yeah.
the movies you check out when you're like over at a friend's birthday party or some shit. I'll get together and watch.
I watched
or something.
The one golf movie.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. No, that was good. I mean, he was good back in the day, but I don't know. I have more nostalgia for H3H3.
I have more nostalgia, but I also dislike him more for how far he's fallen. Now he's someone who talks about like socialism and stuff all the time.
Does he really?
Yeah, he talked about that on the podcast a couple times. Supporting
doesn't he live in a
Sanders.
mansion?
$9.8 million LA mansion. Yeah.
Who does he think the rich are?
Have you ever heard a poor person talk about socialism positively?
Yeah,
it's only rich assholes.
Yeah, I've never actually heard
people whose parents are making over $100K a year, so they don't know what struggle is.
Okay. I was be like, do you think $100K is rich?
No, but on average, when you look at
yeah, that's still like you're living a bougie life if you make over $100K a year.
Point is that the only people who like socialism are people who never have to live with the realities of socialism. So for someone like Ethan to be speaking in praise of that while, again, in his $9.8 million LA mansion, I'm going to need you to shut up. just stop. Get back to the funny videos.
I've worked with a lot of blue-collar people. Not one of them has been a socialist.
No. I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, which is supposedly the people that's supposed to be for.
You'd think.
I think in Europe that's a more common thing than over here, because I think it's just sort of, we view it differently here.
Yeah, that's true.
But
you can, like we were saying with the French healthcare system, you can get away with a certain amount of quasi-socialistic policies.
Yeah. Here it might not work as well. And I feel like we just look at politics differently here. I mean, it's not even like I feel like that. I know that for a fact that we look at politics differently over here. The way that we consider like the left and right here, Europeans would find like backwards. Like we look at like our left wing is the economic version of their socialist, and the social version of of what they would call liberal. Mm-hmm. And our right wing is like socially what they would call conservative, but economically what they would call liberal. So it seems backwards to them. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
So they find our politics to be very weird. It's like if like the Tories and the Lib Dems formed a party, but also half the Lib Dems made a party with Labor. It'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Why have you done that?
Yeah, it is. It is a mess. I think the most incredible part is how not a single one of these senators or like Congress members actually represents anybody but their own self-interest.
I mean, they gotta look like they do.
Yeah, political theater, right? Put on a good show. Keep the people not in revolt.
Yeah,
that's good enough. They don't have to be happy, just not in revolt.
How do you be a good politician though?
live by the means of your people. If I was a politician, I wouldn't live in a house nicer than any one of my constituents had.
See, I thought it would be an interesting bill that will never pass, but like, if you required that every senator and representative made the same amount as the median income
Yes,
of an American
absolutely,
citizen.
dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, that seems
No
fair.
one should be paid $160,000 to not deliver on like $2,000 checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the commoners. That system's not gonna
Why
work.
are there so many fucking old people in our government too that are still making decisions for like
Because
a
look at
small-
the population curve. You have the baby boomers who are the largest population bump, and then just people haven't been producing more people at the same rate.
yeah.
It can be a good sign, you know. We're making more money. We're trying to put our investments into other things, but at the same time, people. I don't know. The family unit seems to be falling apart in the U.S. to some degree.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say like especially like the idea of like an extended family unit.
Even something as simple as like divorce rates between the U.S. and other Western nations. It's pretty high.
Very high.
See, I'm not sure. I have a very traditional family unit.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I have a super traditional family. I mean, I guess I have a traditional family. I have a traditional family unit, but it's not like a very contemporary family. Like mine is like I would say like the family unit I have now is much more closer to something you'd see in like the 70s or 80s than you would like nowadays. Like I have a very close relationship with my extended family. Like we still see each other multiple times a year. I mean, granted COVID got in the way of that, but
I mean, also, I mean, your parents are divorced,
that's true. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
which I'm not trying to like, you know,
I can't believe you brought that up.
Exactly.
That's such a soft topic. for me,
exactly.
man.
I'm not trying to bring that up.
That was like 21 years ago.
I know. It still cuts deep. I'm just saying, like, my parents aren't divorced. I'm close with my extended family. I got a very sort of what you would consider a traditional family. I don't have a nuclear family because I guess they got too many kids, but pretty close to a nuclear family.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I have to go back and recheck the statistics because I thought the divorce rate in the U.S. was something like 40%, 30 to 40%.
I remember it was like a third, so that's probably close. You know, that those statistics might be outdated.
And I can't imagine it's getting any better.
And also, I mean, the amount of kids that are being born out of wedlock,
That's,
which is like been shown time and time again to be bad for kids.
Yeah, just basic psychology. That's not the best for kids.
Yeah.
it's also just kind of like disheartening and like what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of just I guess disheartening or it makes like I guess for me personally like I'm somebody that like I know myself and I know what I'm looking for in a relationship and I am interested in like having a life partner and a family and that sort of thing. Like that's something that interests me. I get it's not for everybody and I totally like support people who don't want that and like respect that and they should have that. But I feel like it's getting harder and harder for people like me who do want that like kind of traditional family. Like there definitely have been times where I felt like not comfortable it's like expressing that like sentiment or like saying that like that's what I'm interested in or want or like it wasn't until recently that I really like was like what do I like that's what I really wanted.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess, growing up in a divorced family, the idea of getting married certainly loses some of its luster. It's like...
It definitely makes it scarier, yeah. But also, at the same time, it makes me want to succeed where my parents failed.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's where it comes from for me. I want to be able to, like, be that present dad that... I mean, not to say my dad doesn't care about me or, like, it doesn't support me. He's very supportive when he can, but, like, he never lived with me or, did dad things really with me or, like...
Yeah.
Like, he throws me weed money, but that's about it.
You know, my dad never threw me weed money.
Yeah, but you have a steady father figure.
Yeah,
so...
he played baseball with me growing up.
Yeah,
even though he didn't like baseball.
I don't even know what that's like.
I think, no, I'm not trying to impede on that. I was just making a joke.
It's something that like I would love to. I don't like baseball, but I'd like to play baseball with my kid because I'm a dad, and that's like what dads do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like there's like that mentality is few and far between nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of people who there's sort of like this movement of people who don't want to get married because there are so many divorces, because there's so much like complication and anger with divorce, but they still want to like raise their kids and everything like that. Like they want to be present in the life of their kids and make sure they're taken care of. And I think that that's maybe an intelligent movement. I think the book's still out on that. But you do need sort of that balance in your life of having a mother and having a father.
Yeah,
or just having like two figures in your life that can show you different things.
You need a yin and a yang kind of parenting thing.
Yeah.
They have two different emotional or logical aspects that help form a person over time.
Yeah.
When you're only getting one of those, it can lead to psychological issues.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why you see so many people who their fathers are absent from their life who end up joining organized crime. Because I think they go out in search of like sort of more structure. You could look at it like that, or like a masculine kind of presence in their life, and a gang provides that. It's organized crime provides that.
Yeah.
And also, like, when you're raised by a single parent, you're only getting one like point of view, one perspective from one person. Like, you're not like having two parents, whether it's a mother or father, or two moms or two dads or whatever, or fucking two moms and three dads, if that's what you like, what your family is like. It
if you're matter, Mormon,
that's more perspectives that you're introduced to.
You also spend way less time with your family. Yeah, because your parents constantly working or something.
Exactly.
So
you get a lot of very, very little time with a parent who's at home. Because I always had my dad at home because my mom worked all the time, but my dad was always there to take care of me.
Yeah.
So I always had a parent that was like sort of looking over me, and he was very liberal with me. I was allowed to do what I wanted most of the time, but he just made sure that I didn't like stick my hand into like a grinder or something, and if I did, he'd come get my hand out of the grinder.
Yeah, my mom was almost, like nowadays especially, I rarely see my mom except for like the evenings, so when she comes home from work, because she's the only one that's working.
Yeah, thanks to COVID and everything, I now live in a multi-generational household where we have my grandparents, my mom, and my sister and me. So weirdly, things have gotten more family structured, I guess.
Okay, that's cool. Before. That's cool. See, Cam, you need to get a girl pregnant, have another kid, live there, and then you can have 4 generations.
Dude, my
in
cousin
one house.
actually came over with her baby.
Oh, really? So you had 4 generations in that house?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, my grandparents got to see their first great grandkid.
Wow, that's weird. Amazing.
We need more familial terms. Your cousin's kid can't be your cousin.
No, your cousin's kid is no. It's your
first cousin once removed.
It's your second cousin.
Your cousin's kid is your first cousin once removed.
It's your first cousin once removed.
Because it's your first
cousin. Oh, because your second cousin is your cousin's cousin.
Right.
So it's your first cousin once removed. Okay, yeah.
But
because I looked this up.
I looked this up. I have a couple cousins I have a cousin with now 2 kids. And I looked it up because I was curious. You can actually call your cousin's kids your niece and your nephew also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Your first cousin, you can call them your niece and your nephew also.
I have 5 of those. I have 2 cousins with 2 kids, and I have 1 cousin with 1 kid.
Yeah, so you could call them your nieces or your nephews, technically.
Wow, okay. I guess
it's easier than saying your first cousin's once removed.
Yeah, that's very... Or I guess you could just say cousin once removed, because first is assumed.
No, because you can have second cousins once removed.
But I feel like I wouldn't say second unless it was second. Like first, I would just assume it was first. Like, and like, okay, this is going to be a stupid example, but like, if I put A plus B, you understand that's 1A plus 1B?
Yeah.
You don't need to put the number there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But dude, I gotta find this YouTube video I saw like a year or so back that was on all the different ways in which people classify families based on their culture around the world. Dude, there's like 8 or 9 different methods for that, and it's really interesting how some of them are tracked. There's some weird ones where like you'll call your aunt's husband your dad as well as your father, and it's just ways that other cultures track lineage over time.
Well, I know
like Filipino culture kind of does that, right? Where they call like even like family friends will call like uncle or brother or
Maybe.
that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure that they do.
I mean, my dad has a close friend that I just tell people is my uncle because it's just easier to say he's my uncle.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's
because I don't want to
common.
explain like my dad's best friend. You know.
Yeah, that's what I call like my mom's cousin, like my mom's first cousin. So my first cousin once removed, but the opposite way, because
Okay.
I'm her cousin's kid.
You're her cousin's kid, so wouldn't that make her your?
It's still my first cousin once removed, but it's the opposite way. Instead of like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same
it's,
way.
it's
Yeah,
the same way. But,
yeah.
but
Call them the same thing.
you call them the same thing.
It's like
but
my first
I call
cousin
her
once removed
I
called
call
that,
her my
yeah.
aunt still.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, if there was, in other cultures we would have words for that. Like in Chinese, you have a word for each individual part
Person.
of a family. You know, whether it's the mother or the father or the mother's mother or the mother's father, and so on and so on.
Well, in Korean, you know that song Wapam Gangnam Style?
The Psy song.
Yeah. Gangnam Style means like your older brother specifically in an
Oh.
honorable way.
In an honorable way.
Yeah, it's like an honorable way to refer to your older brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why it's like not easy to translate Gangnam Style.
What is that song about?
It's about doing it
Like,
respectable
like-
older brother style.
Okay.
It's like
I'm gonna fuck you like my older brother. My respect.
it's sort of like, your Gangnam is cool, Wapam Gangnam
Oh, trust me,
Style.
baby. I got
do
a
it
cool
big
Gangnam.
do it big brother with all respect style.
I guess that
You
probably
know.
means something prolific over there. But here I don't-
Respectfully, would you like to see my Gangnam?
I think that was Psy's only popular American hit.
yeah.
right?
It was his only American
It's
hit,
one of
yeah.
the most recent like one-hit wonders that I can think of. Like
Yeah.
lately, there
I think that what's his name's going to be a one-hit wonder. Lil Nas X. I mean, what is what else have you heard from him that had mass appeal?
Well, I mean, he had the one song where he's
I don't
fucking
know.
the devil.
But that was not mass appeal. That was controversy because he slid down a stripper pole into hell and then sucked the devil's
But I'm
dick.
saying that he's still like relevant in pop culture. Like
I
Psy
guess,
had
yeah.
like,
I
he
see
had
your
one
point.
hit and he's since disappeared from the limelight.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
did you
like,
guys hear
like
about-
whoever did the Macarena?
yeah.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
if the Macarena guy was started like releasing gays like sex music videos and creating controversy, we'd still be talking about him. But
do you remember, or did you guys hear about how Nike sued the
Well-
creator of those shoes?
oh yeah, because they like over what did they sue them over?
They altered the shoes and they made Nike look bad. They were saying
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that technically the shoes, because I didn't realize until the lawsuit came out that it was like that it wasn't made by Nike. I thought it was made by Nike until that came out,
Oh,
and
no,
then I realized there
heard
was some.
about that.
Oh yeah,
Some different
Nike
guy.
didn't support it or like they wasn't sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, no, not in any way, shape, or form. Nike wasn't associated.
Nike doesn't want to be tied to satanic shoes.
Not
With supposedly human
with
blood.
a drop of human blood in the part
Yeah.
where the air is supposed to go. They're called Nike Airs,
Now they're Nike blood.
And the guy had supposedly done like the same thing with holy water before, where he made like a very like
Oh, I did
Christian,
hear about that.
yeah, it was like a good and a bad one, and Nike like sent him a cease and desist then, and then he didn't.
Dude, why would
That's
you not
bold.
listen? Yeah, why would you not listen to a
That's not
Nike?
listening to Nike.
Nike does not fuck around with that shit.
I
Yeah,
can't imagine they do. Yeah.
yeah, but he was just like, yeah, they can't do anything. I own the shoes. But they were like, no one realizes
they
that this
own
isn't
the
our brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they associate that with us now. And people were like getting upset because they had holy water in the shoes, and they were like, hey, that's an important thing to Catholics. You can't be putting that in shoes.
Well, I know it's
I don't know.
it's
As
pretty
a
different.
Catholic, I kind of would love to have a supply of holy water on me,
Just
at
in
all
case.
times.
It's like, oh fuck, I sinned, I'm about to die.
I know it's different from copyright law, but it is transformative what he does to the shoes.
I don't think the matter is that it's transformative. It's not that it's like copyright
It's
infringement.
that people don't know that it's not sold by them.
Which I think is like trademark infringement. It's
Okay.
that people then associate the brand with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, if I slap a swastika on some Adidas, I'm sure they're not going to be so happy
and then
about that.
sell them. Yeah, it's like the new
Might not appreciate that one so
1939 Adidas. Aren't they a German company
Adidas
too?
Gestapo.
Bro, you got those 39 Adidas classics.
Do you got those Adidas Gestapo over there?
It's like you can run all the way from Berlin to Warsaw.
Jump over that Auschwitz fence, baby.
Dude, is Hugo Boss the guy still alive, or is just the brand?
I think the guy's long dead. So he didn't actually. Then I believe this myth for a long time. He didn't design the uniforms. His company just manufactured the uniforms.
Oh, who did the design?
I have no idea. He didn't design them though. He just made them.
Uncredited genius.
Yeah,
They are fly as fuck.
the best dressed army of all time.
I mean,
sure.
Wow, I shouldn't say that line. But there's a lot of bad things you can say about the Nazis, but you can't say they didn't dress well.
No.
You know,
No.
they looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked like the bad guys. They were in all black with skulls on their uniforms and a bunch of scary geometric symbols.
That is the weird part. Like, if you're going to dress your own army, you would want them to look like the good guys, right?
Yeah, why are they wearing all black and red?
If you know you're
scary
going out to
geometric
do
symbols.
some evil things, that's exactly how you
The
dress.
Brazilian BOPE kind of do BOPE do the same thing. Kind of their insignia is like a skull with like two knives in it or something.
Yeah.
They're like the anti-crime or anti-terrorism unit or something. But they've like been like highly documented as being like super violent to like the communities in the like the favelas and everything.
Well, in fairness to the. I'm not gonna say the phrase in fairness to the Nazis. As an explanation for what was going on there, the Totenkampf, the skull they wear, which means like I think it's death head.
Yeah.
Toten means death. I think Kampf means Kampf means struggle. It's something like that. But anyways, that skull had been used since like early Prussia.
It's a badass symbol.
Yeah, but they've been using that exact same design for a skull for generations. So they weren't the first ones to throw a skull on there.
It for everyone else.
Honestly, if the German military was still walking around with that, because they still have the Iron Cross, what's wrong with the skull?
Yeah.
Put the skull on things again.
That's shit. Bring back the swastika.
No.
Bring it all back.
German culture lost the cool factor.
Yeah.
The edgy cool factor.
I mean, they just don't even celebrate it anymore.
They got the cool beat out of them.
And yeah, I understand of course you don't want to celebrate the Nazis, but the whole Prussian militarism and then shit, that was unique.
But we quite clearly wanted to kill the Prussian militarism after World War II.
Yeah. Germany could certainly use it now, though, with China creeping up on the EU.
Yeah, but
Russia about to go crazy. Dude, you heard about
I'm not giving the Germans a military again.
You heard what happened off the coast of Crimea right now, right?
No, what's going on?
Okay, so a British warship and American destroyer.
Oh, actually, you know what? I did hear about that a bit.
Sailing through contested waters. Russia says it's theirs. The UK says no, we're still within international waters according to like the UN and stuff. Apparently, the Russian ship fired shots across the bow, a warning shot. And Russia's threatening to go all-out nuclear if Russia or UK doesn't back down.
Is the UK backing down?
The UK is not backing down.
How recent was this?
Just the last 2 or 3 days.
Whoa. From what source?
I know there was a BBC journalist who was covering it, but this has been covered by a lot of news things.
Like some of the like foreign news, like Sky News Australia or that sort of stuff, or like RT.
I should actually check out what RT is saying about it compared to what the BBC is saying about it.
Yeah, I always like BBC's pretty good about their stuff, but I always double check it with RT and some of the others like foreign like Al Jazeera or like some other things.
RT obviously has a bias.
Yeah, but like I try and gather from a bunch of different things, and like once you do that, you can kind of
it's like whenever something happens in American politics, I look at both NBC and Fox's take on it just to see, what's the middle ground take that isn't said by CNN.
Dude,
Because if you take CNN, it's gonna be not true.
yeah, yeah, dude.
I still laugh at that fucking like. It was early in Trump's presidency when he like first like shut down like Jim Acosta or somebody at like the White House press conference where he's like, "No, I'm not taking your questions. Your organization is fake news. Shut up." And he's going, "Sir, please, sir."
God, dude.
CNN is a joke, dude.
The old news guard is going out the door, dude. People like Jim Acosta, Brian Stelter,
No one gives a shit about their opinion anymore. I can get
Don
much.
Lemon.
Yeah.
God.
I can get
Pete
much better
Williams,
opinions for free without paying a cable bill, just on the internet.
Yeah.
And like I can get people who are like entirely fair.
Yeah, like I remember in my film and media studies class, there was a whole explanation for why they do the whole news thing where you have like the main anchor and then the field reporters. The whole purpose is that they want to give a sense that the anchor is the most trusted voice, that when the anchor is talking, it's directly to you, whereas the person in the field receiving the report and then reporting it back to the anchor is acting as only a medium, so
That's why they always give it back to the anchor at the end.
exactly, so that naturally over time watching this anchor you come to trust them as the news source, even though they're not the source of the news, if that makes sense.
Seth, we should tell Cam about our
I was
idea.
thinking that.
Yes.
So Cam, do you remember when people used to talk like this in the 40s?
The transatlantic
The transatlantic accent.
Yeah.
We were thinking that maybe we should do modern news reports with this same kind of accent.
Do we get the grainy black and white film for it too? Put the film
Exactly.
grain over it?
Oh, with a little bit of sepia tone?
Sepia, yeah.
Sepia tone.
A little bit of sepia tone and some authentic news. I think
Bring
people could
back
really
old
get
school.
used to it.
In other news, American and British ships in the Black Sea today. I'm saying that should be like a pod thing we do, like a review of the news that has happened.
Oh,
But
hell
we
yeah.
talk in transatlantic accents the whole time.
Yeah,
There are still 159 missing people from the Miami-Dade building collapse.
Oh, yeah. Yikes. Infrastructure needs an overhaul. Big time.
Oh, this country, yeah.
I heard like the mayor or like maybe even the governor is like requiring like a reevaluation of all like high rises of like a certain height like in the city to be reevaluated immediately.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
That's what happens when you fight all your wars away from home. The infrastructure never gets touched. And if the government bureaucrats aren't in a position where they want to fix it to make their image look better, no one's going to touch it. So now we have this ancient internet infrastructure, crumbling roads. It's getting bad. How long
electric
does
grid?
Yeah. How long does does just a bridge, like one of those car overpass bridges, last?
I know a lot of them are like way past when they were supposed to last.
Yeah, I gotta imagine we're gonna have to start replacing those sooner rather than later, so they don't.
You know, there's going to be a number of crumbles before they start getting replaced, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's already been like one major one that my sister was talking about. She studies civil engineering. I mean, they happen all the time. They collapse. Just no one gives a shit.
And oh man, yeah, we're gonna have to put so much money into fixing that.
Just
it has
take
to be done.
take a tenth of the military budget, man. Yeah, I mean, we used to understand that's basic Keynesian economics. You know, it makes jobs if the government spends more money domestically.
Hopefully the work actually gets done, because I've seen a lot of road work that goes on for a long time.
I'm
And you've also been to college. Of functional roads.
I am convinced that there is a scam to be had somewhere in
absolutely
taking in I know there's a scam going on with road work, but I'm sure that there's a scam to be had in stealing and reselling the machines that they just leave on sides of the road. They leave that shit there for weeks and months,
Yeah.
unattended,
With the
and
keys
most
in the
of those-
ignition.
Most of those keys are reusable for almost any of those same models of machine.
Brilliant.
Like one key for one like Caterpillar like excavator will work in almost any other Caterpillar excavator.
I mean,
so you need one key and you could drive around to almost any roadside site. And if you have a trailer, you now have an excavator.
And also, I mean, you could also just take it to the scrap metal person.
You
That'd
could
be
take it.
so much money.
I'm saying there's a scam to be had there.
Okay, Jake. Well, why the fuck did you bring it up on the pod? We were gonna make some serious money, dude. What the fuck?
I want something to be done about it. You hear?
Dude, there's that one exit near my house on the Beltway that has been under construction. I'm not even kidding now, for like 6 years.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
6 years.
Yeah.
Nothing has been done. All the equipment has been sitting there, just out in rain, sun, all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's
For
money.
6
Just
years.
Yeah.
Is someone getting paid for that?
Yeah, I heard. Actually, I remember talking to Cooper about this a while back. He said that when he was working in the Maryland state legislature, that he came across some evidence of there actually being like corruption with like road maintenance workers and stuff, and like
100%.
that's why there's like so much like
Endless road
infrastructure
construction.
work being done, quote unquote, but not. It's just sitting there on the sides of the roads, like for months and years at a time, without actually anything being done.
Imagine going to school, leaving your backpack with all your textbooks, just put it down on the bench, and then just walking home, being like, "Oh, good day of learning. We did everything we needed to do today."
And not coming back for 6 years.
Yeah, dude.
No, Jake. You
God.
come for 10 seconds every day of school until you finish a whole day of school, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Could learn like that.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
That'd be like an entire lifetime of learning, though. School.
Oh yeah, it would be
Several
unbelievable.
lifetimes.
Well, I mean, how many 10-second periods are in an entire day of school? Because it's what, 8 hours, 7 hours?
So, how many seconds are in an hour?
What's 60 squared? What does anyone know what 60 squared is?
Siri. What's 60 squared?
3,600. Boom, got it before Siri. I just clicked. So that times 7. What's 3,600 times 7? Jake, he knows this math from his head.
It'd be like, I think it'd be like 250 or 260,000.
25,200. So
Yeah, okay.
if that's days, let's say you don't take breaks, how many years is that? No, you could, if you started at birth and you lived a full life, you could do it.
But are you going to school at birth?
No. You would. Let's
Go
say you
5
started
or 6 years.
5. If you would have to live to 74, it's only 69 years.
So you just go to
That's
school
right
for your
on
whole
average.
life, and then you get euthanized.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your euthanization program for people over the age of
I'm
70.
convinced there's no. I don't see any good purpose for old people. I think they're a waste of space.
My dad
They
is
certainly
64.
take up a lot of economic weight.
They take up a lot of economic weight. They take up like literal physical space in houses that they sit and do nothing in. Where like
When
the most
your
valuable-
parents are 70, you tell me that, man.
The most valuable thing they do is
My
community
dad-
building
my
and
pa-
shaping the future generations.
Yeah, exactly.
So upload them to a computer.
yeah, my
There's
You
no need
can't,
for the
you-
flash.
We don't
My-
have
my-
that technology.
my parents are the ones that instilled this belief in me. They want me to kill them when they get senile.
No, you're not senile at 70, Jake.
Oh, well, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. My
just saying-
grandparents are both 84. They're neither is senile.
I would not want to be behind them on the road. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't currently want to be behind my dad on the road, but that's just because he's aggressive. No, he's just aggressive. He's fine at driving. He's just mean on
I
the
mean,
road.
what Jake is saying from a basic biological perspective makes sense. If you're that old, you're not having kids, nor are you going out to hunt or pick berries and stuff, right? As your eyes
Exactly.
fail you. So at some point, you do become a burden on the tribe. That being said, as long as humanity has been human, we have protected the old and the sick.
Yeah.
As long as it took.
I mean, the old play an important role in, like, raising children and being sort of like auxiliary parents. I mean, you need the elderly around. My grandparents certainly raised me a bit when I was younger. They're still doing that with their great grandchildren.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not want to justify the need for the life of my grandparents.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm saying the physical body itself is falling apart.
That
and
would
of little
honestly,
use to society.
If you could-
a
but the
cam
brain-
solution would solve almost all of the qualms I have with old people.
Okay, if we could upload old people to a computer and their consciousness would still exist and they would still be alive, I'm
Get them
fine
off
with
the
it.
roads, get them out of the houses that they don't
I,
need.
I would do that tomorrow. I
Yeah.
hate walking.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
What if it turns out you were in the simulation the whole time?
well, then
You
I'd
get
be
put
pretty
into another
pissed
body.
about how they put walking into it.
Yeah.
You didn't need to put that in the simulation, dude.
That being said, if you're playing like a real-time strategy game, there is a lot of walking.
Yeah.
What?
Like, you got to send people to go collect the resources. They don't just instantly appear at the resource.
Oh. I mean, not in the real-time strategy games
Think of all
I
the
play.
tedium that we add into video games, right? Like GTA, you could just be going mission after mission after mission, but there's the city, there's the whole.
And you have to drive from point to point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could just make this. I mean, if it's my life, you could just make it Utopia.
What's the fun in that?
Yeah, exactly.
I could make challenge in Utopia if I wanted to.
Then it's not Utopia.
Yeah, doesn't that?
No, I could make artificial challenge
Okay.
like a video game.
Yeah.
You know, I can make. I when I have fun, I put artificial challenge in front of me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
I don't want to play a video game where I win no matter what because that's boring.
Yeah.
I do. When I stop winning, I stop having fun and I stop playing the game.
Oh, I do not have the reaction.
I'm a big proponent. I'm a big supporter of rage quitting. I think it's I think it's actually super healthy. I don't understand the stigma against it. I mean, if you're getting so mad that you're gonna break your controller, your TV screen, you're obviously not having a good time anyway. Like,
but
dude,
when I lose, I don't get that mad. I accept that it was a game. And when I went into the game,
but you're
the
losing, and that shit gets hanging.
No, I
if it's
accepted
totally-
loss as a possible outcome when I
What if
started
it's
playing.
totally out of your hands? Like the lag is so bad that you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
if I'm losing for an unfair reason, not just that I fucked up, but that something else fucked up,
like that's usually.
then I get that's fair.
That's what I'm
then I
talking
get
about.
mad.
Imagine a game of Battlefield where no one plays medic and refuses to revive anyone.
Yeah,
That gets me kind of heated.
Yeah.
You're not like people are having fun getting kills, but there's more to the Battlefield environment that is what people play for. It's not
Exactly.
Quake. You're not going out there just to get kills,
yeah.
And I'm
ostensibly. But
and
people
if
do what they
if
do.
you're if that's happening and not having fun, I think that's it's a good time to say what, call it quits.
dude,
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't
dude, make
disagree
that
with
streamer money so you can just put your fist through the TV like
Right.
every single day. That would be
That would be actually
baller.
a great stream. You'd probably get a lot of views.
Oh, a rage stream, dude.
Do you guys
Hell
think
yeah.
Dude, what happened to that dude? There used to be a rage video gamer way back in the day.
Oh my
Who was
God,
that guy? He had some of the most the legendary
Michael
Yes.
Rage Quit or whatever.
Yeah, rage quit. He had some of the most iconic rage quitting videos.
You know what happened is he became a member of Rooster Teeth.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he became like full time at Rooster Teeth.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember those videos were some of the first things that ever made me start crying laughing.
Yeah.
As maybe a 12 or 13-year-old
that
kid
was
just-
an interesting trend, the angry gamer kind of trend.
that. Yeah.
You don't really see that as so much anymore.
I miss that, and I miss the hybrid angry gamer abusive child to mother relationship. Shut the fuck up, mom! Get the fuck out of my room. Did you guys ever watch Arby and the Chief?
Yeah.
There's that one.
Yeah, oh
they had
my
that one
God,
kid, the character who they had that whole arc with that one kid character who was super abusive to his mom and
shit.
ended up going to juvie and shit.
Dude, that era of machinima, that was a different era of YouTube
That's
entirely.
truly art.
Where everyone putting up gaming videos wanted to be a part of one network.
Yeah.
That in the end screwed everyone over
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
dude, to think that all those videos posted in Machinima from all those different creators, unless I mean, I think contractually they weren't even able to post those videos to their own channel. So with Machinima gone, that's tens of thousands of hours of content just yeeted in a second.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Views, hours, revenue, all of it just. I guess the revenue is still out there somewhere, but
Yeah. Dude, I heard this weird argument in regards to piracy in gaming or comics and other kind of media.
Would you kill your neighbor? Would you rob an old lady?
Would you download a car? Yeah.
Yeah, if I could fucking download it. That doesn't hurt anybody at all.
But the argument is that piracy. I heard this new argument where people are saying it's akin to going to a library, where you can look at the item, you can hold the item. Potentially, you could even walk out of the library with the item, but the vast majority of people get a chance to experience it, and if it's something they really like, they'll purchase it for themselves and take it home.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that isn't the case with all piracy, of course, but that was an interesting take to me. I was like, yeah, I can see the comparisons.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of do it with Xbox Game Pass. If I really like the game, I buy the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the base version forever. You know, I did that with Crusader Kings 2. When they started releasing DLCs, or not 2, 3.
Dude, the American comic industry right now is an absolute shambles, and they're blaming it on piracy. No one's stealing comics that they don't want to read in the first place. There's a reason anime or manga is doing
way better,
like 40 times better. I think, what was it, Demon Slayer outsold all of the American comic industry combined.
Wow.
All the Supermans, all the Batmans, all the Flashes. A drop in the bucket compared to what's going on with manga right now.
I mean, the Demon Slayer movie in Japan is now like the highest grossing movie of all time in that country. It overtook Spirited Away.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
It is the highest grossing movie of all time in Japan.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I have to check it out, dude.
It's good. Yeah.
Was that the one
if you're a fan of did you watch the first season?
I haven't.
I would highly recommend it. It's one of the best modern anime I've watched.
Movie first or anime?
Anime first.
Okay.
The movie is as a continuation of the story of the anime. It's
Nice.
basically like a second season. And I believe their next season of the show will pick up after where the movie left off. So it's not like Naruto or other things where their movies are separate.
Dude, there was some Naruto movie. I'm remembering a random scene where a train is traveling through the snow, and the people on the train have guns for some reason. I have no idea where this memory is coming from, but it was like a Naruto side movie where some faction had guns or something.
Are there guns in Naruto?
No.
There's not supposed to be.
I didn't think there. I don't even know the show, but it doesn't sound like a show with guns in it.
It's
Well, things have changed now. Like with Boruto, technology is getting a little bit better.
Yeah, they had like a chakra Gatling gun.
It's kind of like the jump between original Avatar and Korra.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
technology has gotten better, but they still integrate the magic part of it.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Very interesting.
And they're really like incorporating that aspect into like the lore of Boruto and like what's going on in the story right now, which is great. Like I feel like it kind of took them a little bit to get into that and like really establish that story, like narrative and like aspect of the universe.
Dude, how long until Boruto has a kid and they do a whole new series?
I mean, who's he having the kid with? Sarada?
Who knows?
That's what people want to have happen. That's just too OP. You're gonna have what? A Hyuga, Uzumaki. I mean, Boruto is Uzumaki and Hyuga, and then Sarada would be Uchiha and whatever the fuck Sarada is. Or I mean Sakura is.
That's one of the things I was thinking about. Is when it gets to this next generation where you have two really unique parents who produce a blend of those powers, and then those kids have another kid who has a blend of four different powers.
It's almost like what's happening in My Hero Academia, where one of the main like plot points of My Hero Academia is, I mean, the basis of the whole story or the whole universe is like, instead of only a few people having superpowers, everybody has a superpower or a quirk of some kind, and only a few people don't. But because so many people have superpowers and everybody can be a superhero, people with like crazy superpowers are having kids with other people with crazy superpowers, and they have this like concept or this theory and called like the singularity, the quirk singularity, where people's quirks will start to become too powerful for their own bodies to keep up.
Yikes.
And they can't control their powers, or their bodies will like can't handle the powers that they're putting out, basically.
It's gonna end up like the end of Akira.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of like, especially in the manga, there are a lot of scenes that now thinking back kind of have very Akira-esque, like it's especially like now like the story's getting very dark and has kind of similar like atmospheres. Not quite as technological as Akira is, but like that same sort of like hero turned kind of villain.
Oh, dude, I finally finished Neon Genesis.
Oh yeah, what do you think of that?
That ending.
It's intense.
What just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been so confused by a show.
Yeah.
Like, Lost was more was more
cohesive.
Yeah. And then I watched like there was like 2 movies after, I think.
Yeah, 1.11 and 2.22. I actually saw those movies before I ever saw the show.
Oh. What was that like?
I mean, it was actually, those movies were, I think, one of, if not the very first source of anime I ever viewed.
Oh.
Like I watched them as like maybe a 8 or 9-year-old on like my mom's like on demand on TV, like as a kid, and like I snuck it, like I bought it without telling her and watched it.
Because of like Sailor Moon and stuff like that, I thought anime was bad, something I wasn't supposed to see.
Well, I think I felt kind of similar. Like my mom didn't really. I watched it thinking my mom wouldn't want me watching it.
Is Sailor Moon actually as erotic as, I don't know, pop culture? Okay, because isn't
really.
it just girls and just schoolgirl outfits?
Yeah. That was enough for me to be like, I probably should watch this.
It's already making me hard.
I'm like there was episodes of like Naruto where he does like the sexy transition.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I don't want my parents to see this. Like, it's already lame enough I'm watching anime. I don't need them to see this as well.
See, I started watching Naruto when I was a kid, and my sister roasted me for watching anime, so I never watched it, and now I just can't get into it because I didn't watch as a kid. And I brought that up with her recently, and she was like, "Oh no, anime is really cool." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, there's really, in the last just like 5 years maybe, there's been a total transition where anime is becoming the cool thing.
Oh yeah,
almost.
Yeah,
because people our age who grew up on anime
are now becoming adults who have influence in whatever, spheres of influence that they.
But it's the same thing where it's like,
in.
I grew up playing Minecraft and everyone was like, "Oh, Minecraft's fucking lame," and now we're adults and Minecraft is cool.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think one of the best examples of this is Israel Adesanya in the UFC, who himself was a nerd and an anime fan growing up, and now being a UFC champion, like has this platform. Like, one was inspired by the anime he watched, so a lot of his entrances, like one of his favorite stances, the iconic Rock Lee stance. Whenever he enters,
really?
yes, dude, check him out. He's
Holy
a phenomenal fighter. But what makes him even more fun to watch is he incorporates elements of anime into his performances, and he's totally like opened up, like brought this like brought these two worlds together, where like you can go into almost any like especially Israel Adesanya comment section, but like most UFC comment sections, there are a lot of anime fans that like there's a huge crossover now between them, and largely because of him.
Yeah, you'd think the connection would be there,
Yeah.
People who like anime love watching different fighting styles all getting together, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. Well, that is about 2 hours.
Right on.
Yeah, sorry,
Hour 59,
I interrupted to do a time
No.
check, but I think
this
that we should probably call the episode here, y'all.
Yeah, any longer than
Yeah.
this, and I don't even know if I can upload it.
Yeah.
So we might have to chop this one into 2 parts.
Okay, let's ad lib an outro. I say that we, I leave my house. I don't fucking know. Get out.